Happy Tuesday, Striver. It's a beautiful day to choose your attitude and to come together here in Growth Day to make self-improvement a way of life. I'd just like to congratulate you today before I jump into my daily topic. And that is just to congratulate you and say thank you. Thank you for being one of the very few in the world who take your personal development seriously. You know, here in Growth Day, you can see we've created all the tools and the coaching and the community and the courses that you could possibly need to keep growing year over year, day over day, week over week, on whatever schedule that you decide to engage with us here at Growth Day. But I really believe that those who show up here, who invest in themselves, who take the time to do the actual work, are the ones who gain that higher levels of consciousness, of confidence, of contribution. So few people will actually make the effort to improve themselves over a period of time. They'll make that simple wish or that long list on New Year's, but they're not here, not right here, not this moment. Those who quit that journey on New Year's, they're always frustrated by end of February. You're here. You're still doing the work at this time of the year. And I just want to let you know, I celebrate you for that. Now, if you're new to the community, you might just discover these daily fires to be helpful because every day I try to introduce you to a new topic in personal development that might take you a little bit further on your own personal growth journey. I like to just share the idea, share a few simple strategies or concepts or metaphors behind it, and get you off into your day. Today is a topic about behavior change. And I'd like to share with you one of my probably most popular frameworks that's ever been shared on the internet. And that is what I used to just call my intention ladder. And the intention ladder goes like this. It says this on the quote card, if you've ever seen it around the internet. Yep, that's me. It says this. First, it is an intention. Then a behavior. Then a habit. Then a practice. Then a second nature, then it is simply who you are. And the idea behind this intention ladder is, well, of course, everything begins with intention. You set an intention for the type of conduct and character you would like to have in this world. You have an intention about your day. You have an intention about how you'll treat your spouse, your partner, your lover, your kids, the people around you. And that from that intention about what you want in life, how you want to show up, how you want to treat other people, the type of life you want to create, well, you enact behavior, right? First it's an intention, then a behavior. And that behavior either becomes a one-time effort, which is where it stops for most people. They're not very consistent, so they just have an idea or a hope or a dream. They take one action. They get discouraged and they stop. But those who keep going, who develop that behavior, who practice that behavior, who hone that behavior, they quickly develop that into a habit. That habit of something that they are doing. There's a time, a place, a method, a way, a dedication, a commitment to keep doing it. And of course, the more you do something, the more it can become a habit that becomes almost automatic. Not all habits are automatic. Not all habits become easier with time. And that's why even those that might do that, I always say, well, then it becomes a practice. Because that's the hard thing, right? Common sense is not always common practice. And that's why so many people of great potential fail to realize it, is because, they're just trying to get by on the easy habits. Those tiny little habits that they don't even have to think about, that just make their life supposedly better over the long term. But if you ever studied behavior change or been responsible for helping people enact it over a long period of time, you realize that most people, it's really hard to develop a disciplined and deliberate practice to keep revisiting the fundamentals and making them better and better and better. It's why health tends to decline over a period of time, because people get excited at the beginning of the year, and then throughout the year that effort wanes because they know they know what to do. Go to gym, eat healthy, sleep well, meditate, practice wellness routines. But then over a period of time, if it's not an easy habit, it goes away. And even the hard habits that they take on don't last longer because they lose willpower, self-discipline. That's why we say habits can then become a practice. Because you know what? When it is hard, when it is difficult to keep enacting, that's when it becomes a practice. That's why yoga at advanced levels is really a practice, not just a class you show up to. It becomes a way of life. It becomes something that you deliberately commit to and invest in and believe in and work towards and give striving effort towards. So first it's an intention, then it's a behavior, then a habit, then a practice. Then mastery happens, so it becomes a second nature. It becomes more natural. Even if people look at it and go, gosh, that's so crazy, that's so hard that you can do that. For you, yeah, it's still a challenge. You still have to get into flow, and yet it's become a second nature. It's who you are. It's Tony Hawk is a skateboarder. After that much repetition, that many times, it's just the natural way you are. I had the blessing of getting to know and being mentored a little bit and doing some great business with the late, great Larry King, one of the great communicators of all time. And his ability to interview anybody at any time about any topic, it was remarkable. He had conducted 60,000 plus interviews. It just became who he was. But I know holding Tony Hawk or Serena Williams or a Larry King or an Oprah Winfrey or other famous names up, that can seem out of reach for us mere mortals. But the reality is, you've already developed a second nature. You already have a way of conducting. It's your strengths, it's your style, it's how you show up in the world. And if you didn't know it, it began as intention, then a behavior, then a habit, then a practice. And it's who you are today. So the good news is either you showed up who you are today, it's the second nature of who you are today, and how you go through the world was intentional and conscious, or it was just a series of reactions. Stimulus, response, comparison, trying to fit in, trying to please. And you kind of became an amalgamation of reactions, or you're developing yourself now with real intention. And you've done that before and over and over and over again. Now, wherever you're at on any of these topics, the good news is it first begins with an intention. So today, I invite you in Growth Day to open up your journal and start with this simple thing. Who I wish to become. Who I wish to become. Set an intention in your journal today for the type of person you want to become, the type of behaviors you want to see yourself doing, the habits you want to follow, the difficult practices you want to stick to, who you would be proud of if that was who you just showed up as second nature. What would you be like in an ideal world? Set that intention today. Capture it in a journal. The most successful people I've ever met were incredibly intentional about who they became. The act of becoming was a conscious, deliberate effort. It wasn't easy. They didn't get it all right. They weren't always in integrity. They were certainly not perfect. It's just that they made the honing of the self a practice. And that practice, repeated over and over and over again, became a second nature, what was natural and easy to who they were. And now you meet them, and they are just so abundantly, authentically, spontaneously, and exactly who they are that you don't compare them to anybody else. They stand out all on their own as an identity of themselves because they consciously worked towards and willed into this world their unique and beautiful and divine spirit. Please jump into your journal today and capture some thoughts on this. I'm so excited for you to continue working on yourself and for each of us here in the Growth Day community to keep living more intentional lives. What a blessing it is that we get to do that we can make self-improvement a way of life, that we can remember every day is a great day to grow. And we can remember that no matter where we've been and no matter where we're at, there's always ways to change and have hope for that and to remember that and to draw light from that and to remember each and every day that this moment, this hour, this minute, it's a great day for a new intention, I believe the world needs that, and I love that we get to do that here in Growth Day together.